Oops, sorry.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Sunday edition of the Arthur Chat Show. I'm your host, Lynda D. Brown. My guest today is Author K.F. Johnson. KF is here to chat with us about her brand new book, When I'm Bad, I'm Better. And this is a very prolific author because she has another release that's going to be coming out shortly. So we're going to chat about that as well. So KF,
Yes.
welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
Great. That's a great picture. KF, since this is the first time that you've been on the show, why don't we get started with you telling us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Well, I've been writing, I guess I've had published books since 2012.
Okay.
Um, I am a mother, I'm a wife, um, and I graduated from Spelman College, so have a lot of support of some of my Spelman alumni.
Mhm.
I
That's
live in
awesome.
Atlanta,
Okay.
but I'm from New York. I'm actually from Queens, New York.
Okay. Do you like
And
Atlanta better than New York?
I'm just used to it. Without saying how old I am, I've been here for a long time now. I
Okay.
I
Okay.
came down for college, and I just found that it was a less expensive way to
Wow.
live. You get more for your money here. And
Yes.
once I started making a life for myself, Atlanta became home. So I go home a lot,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
Atlanta's home now.
Oh, absolutely. My mom is from Macon, Georgia, so I feel
Okay.
a kindred spirit there.
Yeah.
Now, are you a full-time writer, part-time writer? Do you have another something that you do outside of writing?
I am a part-time writer. I am an accountant during the day, surprisingly enough, which is funny because my bachelor's is in psychology and my master's is in business. So none of them have anything to do with either of my jobs.
But that business degree is going to be great for you with the publishing, and you have done
Yes.
fantastic because you currently have with this book that we're going to talk about, which is "I'm When I'm Bad, I'm Better." This is book number what for you?
Number three. It's number three.
Awesome, awesome,
Yeah.
congratulations. Okay,
Thank you.
so what inspired you to write "When I'm Bad, I'm Better"?
Um, I watch a lot of TV. I watch a lot of movies. I stay on the ID network. I'm like, I used to want to be a forensic psychologist. So
Okay,
I'm always interested in why people do what they do. And the most interesting characters to me are always the crazy ones. um, and the people with the most dysfunction, because to me, that's more reality. Like, the goody two shoes and stuff like that. It's not really reality. Usually, the people who seem like they are the nicest, sweetest, most put together people have some real shady, seedy past. So,
right.
um, yeah. So, in thinking that was kind of the inspiration for When I'm Bad, I'm Better. I've always been kind of creative. I was on punishment a lot as a kid, unfortunately, because I didn't like coming in the house by the street light
Exactly.
like I was supposed to.
Exactly.
So
You got
I just
that
thought to
kindred
myself,
spirit.
thought it'd be fun to write a
Mhm.
book about some ladies who put out personas that are not exactly who they are,
Right.
but they have people believing that that's who they are. Because I think most people know people like that.
Absolutely. We call those perpetrators.
Right, right. They talk to you with their representatives.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Or as the kids say, faking the funk. Um,
Right. Or fraud, like my teens say, they fraud.
exactly. Exactly. Okay. So now, did you write as a child? Is this something that you've done on and off sporadically in your life?
I did. Funny enough, I never actually thought I'd be an author. I wrote because, well, except when I was maybe in second grade, I used to write stories about squirrels, the squirrel family and stuff like that. And I used to draw. I got into Spelman on an art scholarship because I used to draw very well. So I used to, have animated pictures.
Okay.
I was in love with Ralph Tresvant. So I used to write stories about me and Ralph Tresvant getting married. Stuff like that. So I always have written because I love to read. I read a
Yes.
lot. I feel like you can, it's almost like a movie in your head,
Right.
projects you to other places. Um, so I've always been writing, and it was just something I did as a hobby. I did other things in entertainment. I used to rap, believe it or not. I
Okay.
got signed by Tommy Boy Records back in the day. I used to model a little bit, although I'm super short. Um, acted a little bit. I used to do all those things, but being an actual author never actually came to mind until I was turning 40 one year. So I tell you about how old I am now. I was about to turn 40.
Still a baby.
I was about to turn 40, and I was thinking about all the things that I had unfinished in life. For whatever reason, I was feeling like, some things needed to be accomplished. And
Right.
my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, was like, haven't you been writing like a book? Because most people didn't know I was even writing a book, but he knew just because of our relationship. And I
Okay.
was like, yeah. So he's like, you should put that out. And I'm like, nobody cares, about this book. And he's like, well, just, you should put it out. So I looked for a way on Facebook to share it with my friends and family.
Okay.
And I couldn't find a way to put a PDF on there.
Mm-hmm.
So I Googled it and came across Amazon, which to me, Amazon was like eBay. I didn't realize it was like the author haven that it really is.
Right.
And so I saw that you could upload an ebook, and I never read an ebook before that. I never heard of them. So I was like, oh, they can just download it online. So I uploaded it. And honestly, it was poorly edited, all kinds of stuff, because I just thought my friends were going to read it actually.
Exactly.
So I was like, who cares? And I just went on Facebook and was like, hey guys, I put my book up there if you guys want to read it. And they were like, you have a book? What? And my friends and family just started downloading it. And I didn't realize that would make it go viral on
Yes.
Amazon. And strangers started downloading it. And I was like, wow, what's going on here? I started getting reviews from people I did not know, and they were liking it. And then some people were complaining about the editing. And I'm like, but who is that? Like, they read my book? So I said, let me go back and re-edit, because
Exactly.
I didn't realize other people would read it. And then they started looking for the sequel because I
Right.
had a cliffhanger. But the reason there was a cliffhanger is because I just didn't finish it. Like, it wasn't intentional. It was just like, I was real haphazard with it because I didn't think, I wasn't publishing it for an actual audience at the time.
Right.
But when people started enjoying it and they started asking me, did I really know these people? And it really made me feel good inside. Like, wow, people enjoyed my book.
Right.
So that inspired me to do some actual research on how to professionally
Right.
market my stuff. And it just drove me to another level of that.
Okay.
And then it went to #1 on Amazon's bestseller list for my genre a few
Okay.
times and things like that. And I started getting interviews.
Mm-hmm.
And so, after that, I started seriously looking into becoming an author. And I had a website and, did everything research marketing. I guess that's my business background, just made me
Exactly.
look for the correct way to do that. And now, 4 years later, I'm on book 3 and about to release book 4 next week.
That is amazing. When you first put it up there for friends and family, did you offer it as a free ebook?
I tried, but you know what? Amazon only let you do 99 cents. So I
Okay.
didn't know about smash words and
Right.
stuff like that at the time because I wasn't in the author industry. So I didn't realize that I could have done it free there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing. I was like, it's 99 cents. I didn't really think people would buy it. But I just was so shocked at how much support I got, even though, they were friends and family, but the fact that they actually enjoyed it because anyone who knows me knows I try to be authentic and I'm a Sagittarius, so I could be kind of blunt and
Right.
brash at times. And that's my circle. They're the first ones to be like, oh, that kind of sucked. Like, I don't know. I tried to like it, but you know.
Well, at
They're
least that's
like that.
honest feedback. You
Yes.
can't be upset with honest feedback.
Yes.
And KF, I have to tell you, your website is phenomenal. Who did
Yes.
your website? I love
I
that.
did. Can you believe that?
Awesome.
I
Great.
figured I'm a self-published author, and I
Okay.
have created as much as I can on my own. I mean, it's developed more since I first put it up, but you learn a lot of tools by Google. Like Google is like, if it's not on Google, it doesn't exist. That's how I look at
Right.
it.
Mhm.
So I figured it out. I've done my best to try to make it a very professional and easy website to go through. So,
Right. Very
I'm
easy.
glad that you like it.
It is fantastic. And also, I have to again give you kudos for great book covers. Now, if you can show your book covers like we talked earlier, right before we came on,
Thank
she's
you.
got some fantastic book covers.
And it's funny you say that because I've actually changed all my book covers to these book covers that you're looking at now or will be
Okay.
looking at. My first book cover for Behind Closed Doors, which was my first book, was one that I made myself because
Okay.
I didn't. They said you had to have a cover to put the book up, so I
Right.
put my hand in some ketchup and put my handprint on my garage door and took a picture and put it on as the book cover.
Oh
Um,
no.
so that was the original cover for Behind Closed Doors. That's
Okay.
this book. That was my first book, which is
Okay.
now greatly edited. has,
Okay. Great.
has a
Great.
nice cover.
Great
Um,
cover.
and so
Okay.
Behind Closed Doors is basically about siblings, the Andrews, Brian and Brenda Andrews, and they come from a dysfunctional family where even though their parents have been married for several years, their father is an alcoholic and abusive
Okay.
parent. And so now that they're adults, they're kind of estranged from their parents and they're living their own little lives, manipulating, people within Atlanta, and their father mysteriously dies at their mother's home one night,
Wow.
um, drowns in the pool, and they're trying to figure out what's going on with that. And after he's deceased, all kinds of family secrets just start falling out of the closet. And so that's basically what it's about. And let me just say that, let me apologize for that title, Behind Closed Doors, because like I said, I didn't have an audience. I did not know that there's 8 million books called Behind Closed Doors. So once I saw that, I was like, oh, wow. I learned my lesson. So if
Great.
people, Liar's
Okay.
Ball,
There you
you will
go.
not
Okay.
find
So
but
that's
one
book
other
two.
Liar's Ball and has nothing to do with my genre.
Okay.
Also new cover for it. And believe it or not, I made this cover myself.
Great.
I'm getting
Awesome.
really good at
Yeah,
doing a lot of things on my own. But this is the sequel
absolutely.
to the first book. And so
Okay.
you get to find out some additional secrets that fell out and wrap up some of the other things that were left as a cliffhanger in the first book.
Wonderful. Okay,
And
great.
now we've got When I'm Bad, I'm Better.
When I'm bad, I'm better. So tell
Yes.
us
And
about your, that's a great cover.
thank you. And
Kind of
guess who made
reminds
it?
me of Desperate Housewives with all the women on there.
Yes, and that would be me who made this cover. I'm getting good at it, girl.
That is awesome. Well, see, now you are now an indie author and an indie publisher.
Yes.
So that is fantastic. And believe it or not, KF, even though you didn't do the research, you went the exact same path that I did because I did do the research. But I also had to, now I got my cover was actually done. I have to give a shout out to Miss Brenda Hampton. She's an urban fiction author and she's a bestseller and she lives in the city that I live in and she was helping new authors come out. So she did my cover and my cover gets rave reviews. But like you, I had to go back and re-edit my book because I was getting some reviews saying great book, but the editing.
Yeah.
So,
And you know what? This is how I look at it. I'm an avid reader myself. And I'm an
right,
analytical person too. So
right,
it does just become distracting when there's editing issues and you're
sure,
reading a book. So
absolutely,
like anybody else, I'm sensitive about my writing, but when there
sure,
are some legitimately critical concerns that people bring up, I think it's your duty to change it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And to improve it and make it better. And so I do my best to make sure that I'm putting out the best quality now. Oh, and also behind closed doors, let me not forget, Sunny Giovanni rather, did
Okay.
my book cover for that. So she did this
Oh,
new
great.
cover. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
But
Awesome.
so when I'm bad, I'm better is about four women. They're cousins and sisters. They're related. Some are cousins, some are sisters, and they basically put up some great facades for their lives. They've got people believing that they are, great people, and some of them are very successful. But seedy secrets to
Right.
deal with.
Tell us about your characters, each one of them. Just kind of dissect
Okay.
each one of your
Okay.
characters in
Well,
your book.
Valerie and Vanessa are twins.
Okay.
They are identical twins, but they are not identical in personality at all. Um, Valerie is more of the demure sister. She's a professional dancer for Alvin Ailey Dance Company. Um, she's been the sister that's been doted on the most, and so there's a little bit of a rivalry between the two. Vanessa is a singer. She's got more of a racy personality. She's the sister that gets in trouble more. And so there's a little bit of a divide and a little bit of jealousy because this is all based in Atlanta. So Valerie had to go to New York to dance with Alvin Ailey, and that also caused a little dissension between them.
Hmm.
Um, and so those are the two of our main four. Yasmin is an attorney. She is Valerie and Vanessa's cousin, and she's married, but she's not in a very happy marriage.
Okay.
So she's been having an affair,
Oh.
and that affair has brought about a lot of problems. And as those problems start to become exposed, she has a lot of choices to make because, she's been coming across as this great businesswoman. She's the one who's always in control and condemning anyone else,
Hmm.
but she's got her own secrets. And Amina is a beautiful bombshell. She's kind of like, she looks like Kenya Moore.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Kenya Moore is a little batty, but she's beautiful like Kenya Moore.
Exactly.
And she's a decoy for a private investigation center, which basically is like a person who they plant to catch people doing other things. Cheaters. And so that's the story that she tells her family is what her job is. But she's got a seedy past that she doesn't want people to know about either. And when she is shot unexpectedly, people are trying to figure out who did that and why. And she's trying to protect herself and protect those secrets from falling out of the closet as well. So basically, it's all about how those four cousins interact, what secrets they have, and how they try to prevent those secrets from ruining their lives.
Absolutely. And again, the title of the book is When I'm Bad, I'm Better.
Right.
These women sound real bad, KF.
They are, but they all have some good sides. Just like in reality, some of the worst people have some good sides to them, and they feel justified in their actions. They feel like anything bad they do, is justified. So
Exactly.
some
And
people have consequences.
absolutely. And we're all flawed human beings. I
Right.
mean, they're,
Definitely.
and I think that's what makes fiction, like your books, so
Mhm.
appealing to readers because they can relate to some of
Yeah.
the things that the women are dealing with. Well, KF is going to read us an excerpt from her book, When I'm Bad, I'm Better. She has already given me a heads up that it might be a bit racy. And I told her, just go for it. I think we can handle it. We're big girls, so we'll be
Yes, I'm,
okay.
I'm, I'm gonna try to if I can edit it as I read along, I'll try. But
Okay.
I might I
And
might
don't
slip
worry
out
about
some profanity.
it. Okay. It won't kill anybody.
Okay, good.
Tell us what page or what chapter you're going to be reading from, please.
All right. Well, this is chapter 1, page 1. It
Okay.
starts off with a bang,
Wow.
and
Okay.
most of
Great.
my books begin that way because My job, I think, as an author is to grab you and make you want
Right.
to read more. And so I start off from chapter one, just bam.
Okay. Go ahead and start whenever you're ready.
All right, let me see. Let me see. All right. Chapter one, Valerie. Whoever said keep your friends close and your enemies closer obviously forgot to factor relatives into the equation. Sometimes family breeds more snakes inside your house than there are outside of it. It's those same blood ties and family obligations that sometimes force you to deal with people that you otherwise wouldn't spit on if they were on fire. Now, as I sit paralyzed, gawking at the people before me with tears flooding my eyes, I wished I had a match. My fiance's muscular body glistened with the sheen of sweat as he knelt naked on the king-size bed with his back to me and his face firmly planted between the legs of a hip-bucking bitch. They were oblivious to my presence, while the dream song Fruition blared from the surround sound speakers, providing theme music for their betrayal. Her legs dangled over his shoulders as he eagerly devoured her, and pleasure-filled moans escaped her cooing lips. Oh, yes, she squealed, as the rage rose in my chest, compelling me to stop spectating and take action instead. I kicked off one stiletto and grasped the other in my hand as I approached with my heart palpitating so hard I could almost hear it. Pouncing on them, I wielded my heel in a frenzy like Jack the Ripper with a knife. He howled, jerking upwards in a half turn, and frantically defended himself, trying to swat and grab my weapon. The eyes of the familiar female popped open like a jack-in-the-box as she confusedly scurried backwards towards the headboard, trying to avoid my blows. I continued to draw blood, striking his back, shoulders, and any exposed flesh I could reach as he fended me off. You sneaky mother effer, I screeched. That was my little thing
Thank
there.
you.
I screeched, wounding Brent in the hand and arm before he snatched the shoe and shoved me roughly backwards onto the carpet. What the F are you doing? Calm down, goddammit, he yelled angrily, throwing my shoe across the room while her juices still dampened his lips. F you, Brent, I spat, feeling an ache in my ass far less painful than the one in my heart. His broad chest visibly rose and fell with each breath as his muscular legs were firmly planted in a defensive stance and blood trickled from his wounds. His dark eyes furrowed in confusion as every muscle in his coffee brown face tensed. Flickers of guilt slowly invaded his almond-shaped eyes, which worriedly darted from her to me. Oh, don't look confused now, nigga, I hissed. His accomplice cautiously watched me while dismounting the bed and approaching a garment on the floor. Surprisingly, she didn't look embarrassed or remorseful at all. In fact, the bitch looked annoyed. Scrambling to my feet, I charged her, throwing a punch that connected with her cheek just as she was about to say something, but not before she shot a hand out, catching me in the face. I swung back again, but she blocked it with her forearm. She was fast, but not fast enough to stop the fire I tried to smack out of her with my hand when it landed against her face. She stumbled backwards, bouncing off of the bed, and then rushed towards me like a bull trapped in the arena. We went at it, punching, slapping, and pulling at each other while screaming obscenities. I was giving as good as I got at first. But then she uppercut me, knocking me backwards, and quickly grabbed hold of my hair, viciously jolting me backwards in mid-motion. I went down hard on my knee and dizzily reached up to pry her grip from my mane. Suddenly, my ears were ringing as a barrage of punches landed all over my head and face. I tried to block her blows with my hands and rip out tracts of her weave, but she was relentless. You effing stuck up bitch, she taunted through gritted teeth, dragging me forward with one hand wrapped around my locks. Get off of me! I screamed, swinging blindly as she shoved my head downward, continuing to punish me. Damn, I hadn't had a fight since the fifth grade, and my lack of skill showed against this heifer who I already knew didn't hesitate to fight at the drop of a hat. I was clearly losing. My face and scalp ached as hair follicles were ripped from it, and my knees burnt from the carpet she dragged me across. I felt Brent's arm around my waist, pulling me, while shouting for us to break it up and trying to pry her fingers from my hair. Nah, nah, don't save the hoe. She came at me like she was gonna beat my ass, so let her fight, she yelled, delivering one last jab to my face before letting go and allowing him to pull me away. When I steadied myself, I angrily snatched away from him, punching him in the chest a few times as I did. Huffing and puffing, I glared daggers at both of them through my mussed hair and aching face. She stared back at me with bold fists and an equal ferocity, breathing heavily through her flaring nostrils as tears lined her lashes. What the F are you crying for, you backstabbing bitch? You're the one here with my man's face in between your legs. I spat at her, sniffling away my own tears and holding my right eye, which was throbbing like somebody was in my face knocking to get out. It was almost hard for me to speak with the boil of emotions lumping in my throat. To add insult to injury, Music Soul Child's song Love began playing through the speakers as I dabbed the blood from my bottom lip with my tongue. That was the song Brent and I were going to use as our wedding march. I'm crying because I'm mad, she defended, jabbing an accusing finger in the air while her pierced nipples shook angrily with her breast in agreement. Effing stabbing people with shoes and shit like some kind of psycho, she protested, touching her bleeding left calf where I'd apparently nicked her. You're mad? Pitch, please. You're trifling is what you are, I hollered through tears towards Brent. And of all the bitches you could have cheated on me with, you had to choose my twin sister?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Whoa. Now that's the way you start a book.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, ma'am. These women have some problems.
They do. Oh my goodness. So I'm first of all, you're getting some great reviews on Amazon with that.
Yes.
How are you let's see, what do I want to ask you? Great reviews on Amazon. How are people when you're interviewing? How, because you see what I did, I'm like, oh my mouth is open. How are they reacting to this when they see?
You know, I've been really well received, and I'm so thankful for that because I know that people have millions of books to choose from, and like myself, you know, we have favorites. We have favorite authors that we read, and sometimes giving a new author or an author you've not read before is difficult. And so I make it a point now that I have an audience to write for to try to make sure that I give you something that you can come away with and feel like it's almost like, to me, like I said, it's like a movie in your head. So I want you to feel like, girl, did you see what so-and-so said?
Exactly.
You know, I want you to feel something, even if it's, you know, it's just for entertainment. It's not a life-saving book. It's nothing that's going to enhance your life in any way, but it's something that hopefully will be fun and entertaining. And I do have a going theme for all my books, and basically it's authenticity. You know, be authentic. If you are an authentic person and you're not manipulating people, these people probably, you know, won't be in your lives, or you won't experience these kind of things. And these characters probably wouldn't have either had they been authentic, you know.
Absolutely.
So, you know, but I'm glad I've been getting great reviews, and I'm really happy about that. And I've been getting more readers. Nothing makes me happier than to see someone tweet or post on my Facebook page that they're mad. Like, girl, I can't believe you wrote this, and I'm so mad. Like, that's funny to me. I love that. I love that they're that invested.
Absolutely. They truly do get invested. So basically you have and this is book number 3, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You have already started building your tribe. This is like you said, the book might not appeal to everybody,
right?
But for those that, I can tell you one thing. For anybody that likes those Real Housewives reality shows, they should absolutely love your book.
I think so. I look at it like if you look at Tyler Perry, because I watch those haves and have-nots and stuff like that. And no offense to Tyler Perry, because I actually do watch those shows, like I said, and I like them. But you know, those storylines don't make sense sometimes. You know, sometimes you're like, that is not possible.
Right.
So I definitely try to put some realism in
Exactly.
my books. I do research. If I've got people committing a crime, I do research how I'm going to have them commit that. And I try to make
Exactly.
it authentic because I'm an analytical person and I'm the first one to be like, that does not make sense. That's a HIPAA violation. You cannot do that. You know?
So I'm assuming your love of the forensic shows will
Yes.
definitely come in handy with that.
It
Well,
should. I tell you that ID network. When people talk about, when sometimes Caucasians say they don't understand what the Black Lives Matter means because
right,
of black on black crime, I'm like, have y'all watched the ID network? Like,
right.
white people killing each other regularly. Like, you, wait a minute, we're not the only ones that kill each other.
We're not the only ones that do it, but unfortunately, we are the only ones that they definitely put out there. So
Yes,
that,
yes, yes.
and it's all
The
by
media
design.
certainly portrays us, but that ID
Absolutely.
network is equal opportunity. I'm like, y'all need to look over there. You know, all lives do matter, but Black
Absolutely.
Lives Matter means that our lives matter too. You know?
Exactly. Exactly. And if anybody likes, because I hate to say it, I do watch this every now and then, and that's the Oxygen show, Snap.
Snapped, girl.
Snap.
Yes, you know
Oh
I'm
my
on it.
goodness.
I'm on watching that Snap too. I tell you. Let me tell you, I get some great ideas from them. I'm not even gonna
Sure.
lie. Sometimes they'll say what somebody died with, and you will catch me googling that. Like,
Exactly.
let me see what did this do? You know. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow.
yeah.
Now, KF, tell us about your new release. It's scheduled to come out next month or next week.
Oh yes. All right. So let me tell you about my new one, ladies and gentlemen. It
Okay.
is
You have a
called.
cover for that?
I do, but I don't. The book is not printed yet. So
Gotcha.
I don't have the print cover for it.
Okay.
I mean, I have the online cover. So if you guys go to my website, www.kfjohnsonbooks.com, you can catch that cover. But it's called What I Do for Love. And it is basically about a wife who finds out that her husband has cheated on her. And so she kills him and frames the side chick.
Oh, wow.
Yes, ma'am. And
I'm
so,
going to say this again.
so now
Those that
she
like
got to find a
to
new love because she doesn't
right.
have a husband anymore. So she's determined to find a new love, and she doesn't want anything to stand in her way. And so Greer, who is the main character, um, she might be one of the most disturbed characters you'll ever have read because
Oh,
she out of length
okay.
avenge what she thinks she's been done wrong.
Oh,
Say that she's dangerous. She's a
exactly.
product of the ID network.
Wow. Okay, so again, the title of that new book that's scheduled to come out next week is
Yes, September 30th, and it's called What I Do for Love. What I do for love.
wow. Okay, so we're gonna, for those that are listening or watching the interview, we're gonna have KF's website on the description part of the YouTube description, so that way they can click on it and get
Yes.
right to your website. Because again, guys, she did a great job with this website. I'm gonna be honest with you. I looked at it, I said, "Ooh, that makes mine look so bad." Yours is
Oh.
fab. I'm keeping it real. Yours is really, really good. So, I thank you. Believe it or not, we're about ready to wrap up, but it's
Okay.
been an absolute pleasure having you
It
on.
has been fun. Thank you so much for having me on.
Not a problem. I'd like to get you back on. Let's see, I'm currently booking. I think I'm in the November.
Okay.
So because I want to have you on to talk about what I do for love once that gets out and once people start writing on it. So I'll send you an email. For
Okay.
those that are authors, if you are an author and you're looking to promote your book, contact me at the authorchatshow@gmail.com. There is a $10 booking fee, but it gives you, oh, did you get a copy of my books? Did I send you my author chat books? Um, how to
No.
promote your book, how to convert your book into an audio book. Your books would be
Oh, you
great.
did. And you know what? That's another thing. I'm going to be working on making What I Do for Love into an audiobook because my husband is also a DJ. And
Oh,
so
he's got the equipment, the voice, the equipment.
yes, he's got
Um,
all that.
Okay, I'll make sure I'll resend it to you if you didn't get it. It also shows you, KF, how to work with your local library, how to partner with your library, and it tells you different ways that you could get in.
You know what? You sure did send me that. Now it's jogged my memory. You sure did, and I did that too.
Okay, and then how to promote your book on a shoestring budget and how to maximize your radio interviews or your interviews. You did a fantastic job. I enjoyed chatting with you.
Yes. We'll have to do this again soon.
Oh, we will. I'm going to send you some dates. Give me till tomorrow to get some dates together because I try to get my family time once I finish my show. But we wish you all the best on the Arthur Chat Show with your books. I think you got a winner. Like I said, just keep building your tribe.
You'll enjoy it.
Absolutely.
And now I'll let you know of any updates, and anybody who orders any books from my website, although they are on Amazon, you can get autograph copies directly through my website. So if you order from me, you'll get an autograph copy as opposed to Amazon Basic.
Thank you for telling me that. I'll put that information on our Author Chat Facebook page and also on our blog. I'll send you the links to all of those so that way you can kind of keep up with it. And again, we wish you all the best, and we really look forward to having you come back on the Author Chat Show.
Great. Thank you so much. It's been so great talking to you. You have a great evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. So that was author K.F. Johnson. And again, we discussed her books, When I'm Bad, I'm Better. That's the one that she read the excerpt from. And her new release scheduled to come out this week. She said September the 30th. Today's the 25th, so you got about 5 days to wait for that. And it's What I Do for Love. So we're definitely going to have her come back on. And again, if you are an author and you're looking for ways to promote your book, there is a $10 booking fee, but you get copies of those ebooks for authors. They have all been on Amazon's bestsellers list. And our job is to help you get the best product out there, because as I mentioned to KF, her covers are great. Her website is great. She's doing everything that she's supposed to be doing. I am so proud of her. And for something that she just kind of stumbled into. So that's just amazing. So just contact me at theauthorchatshow@gmail.com. We'll be more than happy to talk to you about getting your books out, helping you promote your books. Even though I am a Christian author and a lot of our books are Christian based, but we also do romance. We do nonfiction books. We've had a lot of people come on and talk about. I just had Dr. Ozell come on the show. He's a chiropractor, talks about his book about how to run and make sure that you're, how to prevent injuries. So if you have sort of a racy book like that, as long as the book cover is not too racy, and you can kind of clean up the excerpt that you read, I'll be more than happy to help you promote your book. Well, that's our show for today, and I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. We look forward to seeing you back here next week on the Author Chat Show. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Bye-bye.